Sagittarius, I have this new light and I have fireplace mode on for you. I hope you like it. I'm really excited to get into this reading even more because there's a lot of really good potential here that I'm looking forward to getting into more. If you can't really see down here too much, I'll push these up and then I'll also move the candle if needed. Okay. So if we are going to look at this as like it's Jupiter and Jupiter retrograde happening, this could be Sagittarius Sun, but also for if this is your rising, this is your 7th house. So where your commitments are, your one-on-one relationships, your intimate relationships, if you deal with clients, if you deal with customers, if you deal with people in any level of capacity, one-on-one, this is where things that have been hidden or need a little extra, I don't know, push. I think I talked about pushing and you don't want to force anything, but it's okay to get a little push from your teacher here, from your planet of authority here. And whether you've been deceiving yourself or not, you have been maybe hidden to some deceit in this area of your life, or you've been hidden, knowledge has been hidden from you in some type of way. And then I'll also interpret it another way in just a moment. So if you take a look here, this is you being, again, very disciplined to the money, very disciplined, and your masculine part of you wants to, you know, push forward, wants to guide you forward. While then there's this feminine side of you that maybe wants to hold on to some things, that maybe that's what security feels like, but it's also about your worth. And you've realized if you haven't left a situation, a place, then you are about to perhaps switch careers at this time, switch maybe to working with people one-on-one, or you're looking to do that more so, or you have already done it and now you're getting that reflection period has begun. Either way, it's something that maybe has been a hidden part of where your luck has been stunted, or not stunted, where you may have been putting it and not knowing it. Maybe you've been giving it away without knowing it to a certain extent, because there are, you know, you are one of the luckier signs as you're ruled by Jupiter, but you also have a lot to learn, of course. There's a lot involved with that being the biggest planet. There's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of space being taken up, right? I don't know a Sag who doesn't have to like take up some space in some type of way, or whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in any way they take up space somehow. And it's possible that you're getting a chance to really care for the parts of yourself now in a way that benefits both the masculine and feminine parts of you. That during this period, you needed this period to happen so that this can come through. And this is, again, I want to emphasize, this might be a reading that you would just, or an idea that you would just write off. I wouldn't write off this idea. If something is calling to you, it's time to get going on it. Even if you have to start saving money, that's the first step. If you need to follow through on some things, that's the next step. It's about, this was at the bottom of the deck and it drew me in, but I just kept going. Sharing your creativity more, sharing more of who you are. This is a little dim. Sorry. We're going to move this a little bit for you. Just grab this. Gorgeous. Now we see the sun. And the light comes to you. The light comes to you. It's brought to you. Maybe a birthday wish ends up coming true. But that's not without what you've needed to input into this. Not without the work that you've needed to do to maintain this, or to not only say you want something, but do everything you need
to do in order to move forward on that. Again, Venus will be moving into Capricorn, and Capricorn will ask you to put your money where your mouth is. Say, all right, you want to do this? Let's do it. Let's go for it. What's holding you back? What's stopping you? Yeah, it's about time you speak up and commit to it. This security that you need is actually spiritual. You need to have a deeper connection with what you're creating, what you're committing to, the future that you're having. It's not just about getting to a certain place. It's about having a commitment for more of a purpose, for being able to create. Like, how amazing would it be that you could live off of your creativity, or your side gig, your what you really want to do. Maybe you want to go back to school, whatever it is. The Two of Pentacles looks like, so we have the Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, we have the Fool. The Fool is about, yeah, this is the connection you need in order to move things forward. We're going to read this in a romantic light as well. I'm going to sit now. So for those of you that this really looks like a Venus read now, this looks more like, okay, so where it is in your life that you're communicating about your career, about money, what's being shown to you and expanded to you at this time, the light that's being shown to you and that you're being given an opportunity to see and speak to and connect to at this time is about truly committing to where your heart's been set on. This is something you may have thought about and curated in your mind for a long time, and it's now time to start to take the small steps to making this really come true. Whether it's writing down the kind of people that you would need to help you, how can this become actualized? How can this actualize? And it's possible that just a few weeks ago you got a little hit of inspiration, and now it's coming back up. Well, it's coming back up because it's time to maybe take a look at it. Yeah, it's time to take a look at it. This could also be Chiron. For Sagittarius risings, Chiron in the 5th house in Aries, having you, this is about more than just making money. This is about your healing. Now, of course, you need to have financial stability, but there is a when you decide to jump, when you fully commit, because all of them lead here, it's because things will then move a little faster than you've been maybe moving for a while, and you kind of almost enjoyed the pace, even though it is also uncomfortable at the same time. Well, if you're looking for marriage, for those of you who this is about partnership, actually, wait, let me just finish up this in career. Things are going to balance out for you. The 8 becomes a 4. Whatever moves fast, whatever moves too fast will fall away, and the 4th, whatever's left, is what's going to build the stability that you have found. This is also needing to maybe reflect on the past 6 months, knowing how much has been redirected, and now having power and awareness on your side for the next 6 months as we close out the eclipse season and as we enter the next form, the next set. This may shift your community, this may shift, and you may not know that you needed more of a community in this way for others of you. And what you thought was going to be maybe an individual, independent, it starts that way, and then it develops maybe into something more. You realize working with people has more of a benefit. You may have, for those of you, whether this is romantic or not, there may be someone, Leo, in your life who is reaching out to you, connecting to you, and there's something about being open to hearing and to connecting. This is an openness of connecting, very much so. And it looks like that it brings you to a place where you're able to quickly figure out whether this relationship, whether romantic or just a friendship or even a business partnership, because that's aside from your career, you
you both come to terms, you may part ways, but you both come to terms that of where you're, where you want to put your energy now. And whether or not it's together or in each other's lives anymore, it's like for better or for worse, it's better for both of you. But things come up to be addressed. And this, just addressing this, whether it be something very deep of meditative practice or what your creativity brings to you, because it can be art therapy, no matter what you're doing, or if it's your inner child needing to connect with you, you just acknowledging it freely without any expectations and being willing to be open to hearing what these deeper parts of you or what this person needs to say is shifting the trajectory, because you're not having an expectation of where it's going to go, but either way, it's for both of your benefits, even if it's not necessarily together and committed at this time. You're committed to yourself, so committed to what is needed, and that maybe has come from a result of something that has happened in Libra season that you maybe just couldn't get over, you couldn't stop thinking about, and now all of this is bringing that up again in a way where you're like, oh, I needed to see this, I needed to understand this. And if it happened around the Aries full moon or the Libra new moon, the eclipses, it made you see what stability really is. If there's an Aries, a Leo, Aries, or Libra in your life, there's been a light shown on each of these people. If this is about needing to connect to your heart, you're deeply connecting to your heart. That's setting into your ego in a way that fills in something you deeply enjoy, and you find joy to now be a teacher. This luck that you're learning to find and harness in a way that is more beneficial for you and for what you need. Something moves fast, you get what you need, and then it brings you right down to earth. It helps you to create something. Creating something feels possible now. Now, emotional stability is what this tower moment brings. It could be someone bringing news to you, or it could be that through this, what has needed and been waiting all this time, Pluto goes and moves into your third house. We're going to speak about the third house. So this shifts something in your family. You may need to, this may be a time where something shifts within your family. Again, it could be, an upheaval. But you find, because of all of this that you've done, it could be easy to feel like, oh, sorry about that, frustrated, bothered, you need to take a deep breath. Maybe you do need to take a deep breath. I'm going to actually take a sip of water, hot water with lime. Okay. Yeah, this is the shift test. This is that time where you're assessing yourself, you're becoming more open, because what this ultimately is bringing you is sharpening your resources, your skills, your talents. Again, maybe working with people. This could be about what comes out, and you no longer feel attachment to what may be revealing itself at this time, especially if it's with maybe community or your extended family members. You may receive some great words of kindness or surprising words of affirmation too. And you're finally in a place where you feel like you can really receive them without feeling like you're being deceived. And it helps you have some closure. It could be 2 other people. There's 3 here, of course. But there's about, but you're the strength in the situation. You're the emotional strength in the situation. And yeah, it gives you closure. You may continue a relationship with these people, a connection with these people. However, you don't feel as attached or like you need to, period. And you may be having a nice observation take a look from the outside view, a step back, and notice how maybe on your journey how far you've come and what doubts have that you've run into, only to bring about your power and what you're capable of, to show you that no matter what, you know, you've maybe been stuck, you maybe haven't been given or feel like you've been either given the best opportunities or took advantage of the opportunities that you've been given. You now know, and you now feel more empowered by what you've learned about your mistakes in your with dealing with money, what you've learned about resources, what you've learned about your energy, right? These pentacles keep coming out as about your energy. And the more that you find stability there, not get fixed on what it looks like, but the stability with that internally and what it feels like, the more that this Knight of Wands comes out. Because for some of you, this is also about how these people have showed you that there is doubt, that there is deceit, because that the learning could go positive or negative, and looks like it could go either way for those of you out there. That this is actually you concluding the deceit that you have felt and the truth in that, and you realizing that more than anything you needed to break free from this situation, Knight of Wands style. The truth will reveal itself. You already know the truth, but the truth will reveal itself. And hearing it is closure for some of you. Doesn't matter who you hear it from. People could be telling you the truth right in front of your face and they don't realize what the fuck they're saying. And then you leave and you're like, I'm never fucking talking to that person again. Thanks for the info though. It's like, that's Scorpio season. But then Mercury going, oh, this is also Mercury in Sagittarius too. So we're going to talk about that before we get into these two cards, which is funny because I was going to pull that out too. So this is about Mercury as well. Mercury in Sag, then that retrograde as well. So around, let me get my notes. The retrograde is not until Sagittarius starts anyway. So we're still there until the end of the season. Great. Mercury is also bringing you through and seeing, yes, it may feel not so great, but it's because wherever you're stuck, it's emotion and monies are tied together. So as Mercury is bringing you into where your thinking has been stuck because you're unable to deal with certain things and give yourself what you needed. It's okay for things to come up, but if there's still a charge to that emotion, if there's still a charge to what's going on, meaning that you feel it and it's like triggering you to feel some type of way, it's because you need to treat it in a way that it hasn't been treated. You need to give it the attention no matter how many times that you need to give it. That's where your energy needs to go. That's how you harness this energy. That's what is happening right now. And Mercury is giving you that opportunity to do so because, you know, if not, you could find yourself in a similar situation that you recently maybe got yourself out of, or you may not realize, because it is a deceitful thing that when you're, you know, it's like even within yourself and with another person, you can see, you know, that you're putting on a mask. You can see that you're putting on a facade, and this season is not letting you not see it. It's communicating it to you in many different ways. And it's about your financial standing. Actually it was this way. Lovers clarifying the 5 of Swords. Anyway, it wasn't even the 6, and the 6 clarifying the 8. So no matter what this person may want to turn around and offer you, it's really important that you realize what's behind that. Are they just wanting you because of what you're capable of, or are they capable of what you're wanting in return? Anyone who wants something from you right now, there's a negotiation to be had, especially in love or money. I'm not saying love is all business, but it is. When you need to talk about hard stuff, if you need more of a break, if you need more attention, if you're finding that this Gemini partnership, you need more love, you need to move on from a certain way of being, which means that you need the support of change. You need to be seen for that change, be seen in that change, not just be seen for what you've been and who you've been. It's about who you also want to and who you are evolving into at this time. So that partnership and the commitment sector really lighting up here, really taking center stage. And you being able to see what has been stopping you, because there's a part of you, there's this part of you that like you don't want to go after it unless you know it's going to make you money. But Sagittarius risings, Capricorn in the second house, anything you do that will make you money, you've done a lot over the years. Now that it's moving, it's about how you're communicating this. The more that you communicate what you do, most likely, whether it be in person, communicating it online, however you want to market, communicate, put this out there, that is what is going to now be where you are transforming in the next 20 years. So don't be afraid of trying new things. It may open up to you. You may have thought you would never tried it, and it dawns on you, like, if it keeps coming up over and over again, maybe it's time for a new cycle in the way that you communicate. And this is now transcending not from just your partnership, but how this is, Gemini is also media. Because what comes out from this is what reveals to you about where it is that you need to allow yourself the same respect in return that you give others, the same care and the same forgiveness that you give others. And if you don't learn to put up boundaries in that way, again, you want to start off on the right foot. And if you're giving something now, chances are someone can get you to give it later if you're not serious. So, work and love, both. That's about whatever. If you're not working on yourself, you feel trapped, you don't know why, it's because it's a time to find purpose. It's communicating purpose. That's what's going to give you the strength that you need, the communication that you need. Purpose is going to balance out your emotions and your mind, especially in times when you need that most care. It's about your purpose, who you really. Let yourself play with it. Let yourself have fun with it. You know, maybe you're meant to teach people things, but don't go into it like that. Just trust that you show up in the right place to learn and be learned, to learn and to teach. And maybe you want to take a teaching position because that's the best way to help you learn, is in a controlled environment. It's okay to be controlled in some ways. It's okay if that discipline brings you farther in the way that you think and the way you want to go about life and the way you want to communicate things. Maybe it's having multiple different incomes, multiple different jobs, maybe on your own and working with others or for another person in a way that works for you, that's maybe independent, that suits, and you know that can flow forward in a way that makes sense to how you work, because you know what you're capable of and you know that you have the strength to harness your energy in that way, the strength to focus and pay attention, to do that day-to-day for the dream. All right, so glad we talked. Here you are. Mercury in retrograde will show you. Be willing to be guided, but don't burn out. It's unnecessary. Venus moving into Capricorn will help ground the ideas and start to move them forward, for sure. But your mental health is really important. If you feel stuck, it's about tapping into what your purpose is. That's what's going to level it out. It sounds really woo-woo. Well, go with it. You're the archer. You're the centaur. You're a mystical creature. The only mystical creature in the zodiac besides the Phoenix for Scorpio. However, the traditional is a Scorpion. So this power, this vibe, this is it. And I'm excited to see how you alchemize this process, how you allow your emotions to be of asset, to be of guidance in this time. We'll see you soon. Happy birthday.